Shoot! Man, welcome to another episode. This is Fred Yay High, and you are in my group. Man, today it is so cold outside. It just seemed like it came out of nowhere. Like earlier it was like nice and warm, and then all of a sudden, like just being here in Atlanta, being here in Georgia, the weather just tends to get really, really bipolar, and it just started getting just freezing cold. So like, I don't like this, man. I'm gonna move back to Africa somewhere. I don't know, man. It's ridiculous. But you know what? Y'all know the routine. Before you continue watching this video, I want you to take the time to first just look at it. I want you to look at it. Look at that subscribe button. Now I want you to push it because your support means everything. It does something to me, man. It gets me fired up, man, because this is all for you guys. This is all for my group, because when I do this, I tell you, I do it from the heart. So, it's story time right now, baby. It's story time. Yo, bad haircut. I was the bad haircut kid, man. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, it's something. So, growing up, I was accustomed to my mom cutting my hair. My mom we didn't make trips to the barbershop. We just didn't. My mom would cut my hair every couple of weeks. And to me, I thought that was a pretty normal thing. I thought that every kid got haircuts by their mom. My mom couldn't do anything wrong. I didn't think she could do anything wrong. I thought my mom did a fantastic job giving me haircuts. And I remember when I think back on it, like, I do recall like the older kids around the age group of my older sisters, how they would make little comments about my haircut. I remember there was an older kid. He had to be, because I was like maybe 5 years old at the time. So this kid had to be about maybe 13. But he used to nickname me Road Warrior Animal. Like, and I thought it was the coolest thing because, I was a really big wrestling fan, and I love Road Warrior Animal. Like, he was that dude. He was a tough dude. So I'm like, yeah, he's calling me Road Warrior Animal because of my toughness, the toughness of this 5-year-old, with being completely oblivious to just how ridiculous my haircut looked. Like, it was something. So, mind you, my mom cut my hair throughout elementary school. And I didn't realize, well, first of all, I never really saw my haircut in full. I never really saw it in full. Like, I never even thought to go in the bathroom, take the mirror, and just look at the back of my head. Like, I never really thought to do anything like that. So I didn't really have an awareness of just how bad these haircuts were. I didn't know until I got to the 6th grade. I tell you, I had an earlier video talking about going to school musty, right? So it's just funny how, like, middle school, that age group, that's when you start to become more and more aware of yourself, because your peers are making it known, hey, how you're perceived. It's different. It's just something that's different from that transition from elementary school to middle school. So I remember in middle school, going into the first day, we actually went to the barber for haircuts because it was a really big deal. We were transitioning over to middle school. We were in junior high. So, I got in there and, everything was cool. Everything was normal for those first couple of weeks. Like, I made friends really, really easily. Like, it was really no big thing. And then I remember suddenly, all that kind of changed. Not saying that I didn't make friends, but just the way I wasn't really all that used to being picked on. I really wasn't. So 3 weeks later, one Sunday, so this haircut was fresh. This haircut was fresh. So once, so that Sunday, before I head back for the week, my mom gave me another haircut. I was used to it. I didn't really think anything of it. My mom cut my hair. So I remember going into the cafeteria because that was a whole setup. Like at my middle school, when you got off the bus, you either went to the cafeteria or you went to the gym, and you had to sit there and wait for the opening bell to go to your first period. Note I use opening bell. I don't know why I use opening bell, but the first bell was what got you off to homeroom. Sorry, you didn't go to right first period. You went to homeroom first. So I went to the cafeteria. I went to the cafeteria just like usual. I didn't really pay any attention, and I remember a few of the older kids, the 7th graders, and maybe there were some 8th graders who were kind of laughing and kind of making some comments. I kind of noticed some stares, and I'm like, I didn't know what they were staring at. I'm just like, what's going on? And I remember one of the older kids. He goes, hey man, hey yo, hey, who cut your hair? And I didn't really answer. I'm just like, that's kind of a stupid question. Like, why would you even ask me who cut my hair? And again, I'm completely oblivious to how bad these haircuts were. So as the day progressed, I remember going into homeroom. There was another kid. There was a girl who goes, these black girls, like I mentioned before, these black girls. So there was a girl who asked me, hey Fred, hey man, who cut your hair? So I told her, I was like, my mama. So there were a few guys in the class who overheard that, and they just started laughing. I'm like, what's so funny? So they're laughing at the fact that my mom cut my hair. So I'm like, why are they laughing at the fact that my mom cut my hair? Like, everybody gets haircuts, and I'm pretty sure that some of your mothers cut your hair. Like, I didn't really think that going to the barber was that big of a deal. So as the day went on, it just started to dawn on me that, man, there's something wrong. Like, why is everyone tripping about my haircut? So I remember it had to be about maybe the 5th period. There was actually this Asian kid who I was friends with at the time, who goes, look, I don't know who cut your hair, but they didn't really do a good job. And I'm like, well, explain. So he gets behind me, and he starts kind of talking about hey, this is supposed to be even, this needs to be faded, there's a line here, there's a patch here, and it was really that freaking bad. So I'm like, geez, is that what they're talking about? And mind you, I had more of my classmates talk about how bad the haircut was because we always had to line up to go. We had to line up to go to lunch. We had to line up to go to the library. We even made a trip to the computer lab, and people just kept talking about how bad this haircut was all day long. So suddenly I'm like, oh my gosh, this is really ridiculous. I need to see I need to see how bad this actually is. So that afternoon when I got home, I go in the bathroom and I get the mirror, and it's like the veil was just completely taken away. Other way, sorry. The veil that's been covering me, that's been hindering me from seeing how ridiculous these haircuts were. at the hands of my mother became crystal clear. When I tell you I had patches, when I tell you that it was uneven, when I tell you that my hairline looked like, you remember Zach from Power Rangers? You remember Zach from the original Power Rangers? He was the Black Ranger. You remember seeing his hairline? His hairline, it looked like the Reading Rainbow. Like it wasn't even a line. You can't even call it a hairline. But the way my mom did my hairline, it wasn't even a line. It was like a hoop. It was like a, bruh. I don't know. It looked like a, I don't know. You know, like the Batman symbol or something like that, or I don't know, like a roof, like comes up to a point somehow. I don't know how she managed to make my hairline look like a roof, or look like the freaking Batman signal, or I don't know. It looked like my hairline was like doing a figure 4 leg lock. My hairline was doing all kind of stuff. It was doing everything except being a hairline. And I'm like, oh my gosh. I got on the phone. I called my mom while she was at work. I'm like, Mom, look, I just had a terrible day at school. Like, you know, they're talking about my haircuts, Mom. Like I need to go to a barber to get a haircut. I thought that was fair because like I was actually a pretty decent student. She's like, I don't see anything wrong with your haircut. Bruh. Of course your mom and not gonna see anything wrong with your haircut. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with your haircut. I mean, you still handsome to me. Bruh. I'm like, Mama, look, something's got to be done about it. Like, Mama, I love you too, and I'm so glad you find me handsome, but Mom, this really got to change. My mama really wasn't trying to hear that, and I don't even think my mama even meant it at the moment. Oh, I still think no, my mom was just trying to save money because my mom did not want to go to the barbershop and spend $20 on a haircut. Truth be told, you know, I got the bad haircuts, and so did my two brothers. So if I got a haircut, my two brothers had to get a haircut. So you do the math. You're talking about $60. $60 every couple of weeks on haircuts. So she was willing to go ahead and take the easy way out and just cut our hair herself. We got jacked up. And it all came to a head. It all came to a head. You know it's bad when the pastor of your church is talking about your haircut. But I'm going to save that for another video. Man, if you got kids, take your kids to the barber. I will never cut my kids' hair. And I love my mom. My mama know I love her, but Mama God dog, why did you do that to us? Comment below, man, if you ever been in like any kind of embarrassing situation. Comment below, man, if you ever got a bad haircut, or if you seen somebody with a bad haircut, or you just had a bad hair day in general. I want to hear about it. I want to hear what you think. Mama cutting my hair, looking like the Black Ranger. Oh my gosh. But y'all, man, it's been great. You all make sure y'all stay warm, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button now because I greatly appreciate it. It's been great. It's been real. Thank you all for joining my group. I'll see you next time. You all have a blessed day. Peace.